Que tal, fellow simmers? It's Quentin J. Parker, your pilot, and today we're going sightseeing all across the southern half of the Iberian Peninsula to check out Orbx's TrueEarth EU Spain South HD scenery. It's a nice bright day and the route I've chosen is just about 500 kilometers. And to accomplish that, I'm going to fire up version 6 of vFlyteAir's Piper Arrow 3. Don't let the common airframe fool you. It's a much beefier version than the Pipers that I'm used to flying, and it has retractable gear. Now, their version of the plane comes with 3 different flight avionics. The Garmin G5, the Aspen E1000, both of which are glass displays, and the conventional 6-pack steam gauges shown here. Let's do the pre-flight, and I'll share my observations. You can see how well the flight deck is modeled, especially the reflective materials. All the fuses are modeled, as well as the windshield defrost switch. Oddly enough, the cabin heat switch is not. Let's box the controls. Yo, peep outside real quick and confirm that my nav and strobe lights are on. Thanks. Crank times are affected by both engine and ambient temperatures, and the Arrow 3 has its own airframe shake effects, but I forgot to disable XP Realistic, so that's what you're looking at. The default radios are twin Garmin GNS 430s. Reality XP's 430, the GTN 650, and the GTN 750 plugins are supported right out of the box, can be mixed to a degree, and changed on the fly. There's vFlyteAir branding on the boot screens and bezels of their custom components. It's on the 430 bezels even when the XP Realistic's navcoms are enabled. The transponder has buttons for numbers 0 through 9, but 8 and 9 aren't modeled. Okay, pre-flight is done. The plane is airworthy. I'm airworthy. You're airworthy. Got the ATIS. Let's fly. Quick tap of the brakes. Good. Runway 12 is deactive, and that's a full 2 miles away. So, while I make the arduous trek, please enjoy the scintillating sounds of the local ATIS.
Valencia information Romeo. 700 Zulu weather. Wind 100 at 10 variable 070 to 130, visibility more than 10. Sky clear, temperature 30, dew point 12. Altimeter 3009. Arriving runway 12, departing runway 12. Advise on initial contact you have Romeo.
Now, it's no secret that in the past I've had my issues maintaining center line during the takeoff run, but I applied a response curve to the rudder axis and it basically fixed it. Still, even with that applied, the arrow feels slippery, like I'm fighting for my life just to keep it this tight. Ah, damn it. My gear lever was already in the up position. If it weren't, I wouldn't retract the gear until I was clear of the runway. It's good practice to leave the gear down while you're still over the runway just in case there's an emergency. It's one less thing you have to do before touching back down. And if it happens low enough, you may not have time for the gear to transit back down. We took off from the south ramp. Here's the north ramp with all the airline and commercial action. no emergencies, and we are cleared on course, so let's depart the area. Okay, as we turn through the south, check out that cityscape. The buildings and streets are pretty accurate. We're overflying Carrera Ronda Nord now and heading towards, there it is, Numero de Polígono 23, and yep, the Rotunda del Bonera. Here's today's route. We're leaving Valencia, heading southwest. I'm going to land at Granada, swap planes to get the G5, and continue to the coast. And then I'm going to turn northwest to land at Seville. Should be about 300 something miles or 500 something kilometers. Before I reach cruise altitude, I want to show you again this terrain. So we're looking at a 10-meter mesh. That's where all that detail's coming from. And the details are there at lower and middle altitudes. I gave Orbx high marks for their Oregon and Washington state sceneries, but this just strikes me as mwah, wow. I chose this routing because I wanted an overview of the scenery, and judging how they modeled the southern half of the peninsula, I am most definitely looking forward to the northern installment. Oh, I almost forgot. Headset simulation is my new must-have feature in planes going forward. At 1 meter per pixel, we're looking at about 176 gigabytes fully installed. So that storage upgrade I did, coming in handy. Periodically, I'm just going to look around outside and let the view speak for itself. I invite you to enjoy it with me. Okay, we are now at cruise. At 2500 RPM, I'm looking at 19.8 inches manifold pressure. I'm at 20 inches already at full throttle, so to achieve that 19.8, I'm just gonna try creeping the throttle back just a little bit. Sweet. They even got the wind turbines up on the ridgeline down there. Okay, we're now leaving Valencia and overflying the Castilla-La Mancha territory. Okay, back to the Aero. You can switch between imperial and metric units on the airspeed indicator and the altimeter. Again, on the fly. Okay, let's wiggle some things in the cockpit. AAS is the voice warning system, so we leave that on. And we can test the annunciator lights. Both visors are animated. So are the overhead vents. But not the floor vents. And the storm window is animated. Let's talk about the on-screen options menu. It's accessible from the menu bar and also from a translucent tab on the left side of the screen, which can be repositioned and enabled or disabled from the advanced plugins menu. As for the menu screens themselves, they've got some incredibly tiny lettering on them. They're resizable, but this is as big as they go. So, good luck trying to work through the checklist in an emergency. The Arrow 3 ships with 9 liveries, ranging from the tastefully subdued to one that's so butt ugly that there's no possible way you could ever collide with it in midair, because the moment you see it, you're just going to fly screaming in the other direction. Center of gravity is calculated dynamically as the weight changes, and adding a weight in excess of 60 pounds to any of the co-pilot or passenger seats will trigger animated passenger figures. Pretty sure these two in the back just broke up. The animations are in response to what the plane is doing in pitch and bank, but there's some random movements as well, as readily seen by the Stepford wife in the right seat. That's about all I could find to talk about for the menu. On to the feature presentation. As stated before, you can switch between the glass panel and the steam gauges on the fly. So let's go check out the E1000. The E1000 is a one-piece unit connected to the master switch with a 30-minute battery backup. When you make the change, your analog, manifold pressure, and fuel flow gauge becomes the Garmin GI-275 engine indication system. Basically, it's a digital engine monitor. Both of these displays give you a mad amount of information, including a moving map on the HSI. A good point to remember is that as of right now, only the 3D E1000 screen will show convective weather, while the pop-out window won't. And at least digitally, you can see that I'm maintaining the 19.8 inches manifold pressure I was trying to get earlier. And while we're reconfiguring the flight deck, I'm going to swap out Navcom 1 for the Garmin GTN 750. Now I've got even more information flooding my way, and it's awesome. It might seem super crowded at first, but after an hour or so, you get used to it. You know where to look for the information you need. This key with the red REV for reversion, that's the power button. Okay, there's my moving map on the HSI with scalable range. Pressing the menu button allows you to configure various values on the display, particularly switching the barometer between millibars and inches of mercury, showing or hiding the V-speed references on the airspeed tape, toggling auto course on or off, turning the airspeed and altitude tapes on or off, and setting various levels of declutter for the HSI. Seriously, the E1000 probably should have its own video. You've got your digital VSI, which right now is going crazy because of all the convection action below me. You use the left and right knob to select whatever navigation state you want. Some of you may be wondering, what's up with all this stuff? When in a previous video, you may recall that I said explicitly that I would not be purchasing any new aircraft or scenery for X-Plane 11 because X-Plane 12 is right around the corner. But I did it because vFlyteAir has already pledged to upgrade the Arrow 3 to make it X-Plane 12 compliant. So, why not? And as for the scenery, I have to imagine that Orbx would basically do the same thing. You can't flip between the E1000 and the G5 in flight, so they come as two separate planes. But you can go from glass to steam and back. So technically, you're getting 3 planes for your money, which is $33.95 US. So these 2 purchases don't count. Alright, let's get some information on Granada. It's fairly high elevation. The Bendix King KFC 230 autopilot panel can be popped out for easy handling. I had issues getting it to track my GPS waypoint. I think I needed to activate the leg in the flight plan or enable GPS steering on the E1000, neither of which I did because I didn't know I had to. So the neat thing about the Arrow is it really is a lot like flying Archers, Warriors, and Cherokees. It's a little heavier, not much faster. Part of me wanted to fly this route in the SR-22 because it's so much faster. But speed wasn't the concern for what I wanted to accomplish. I wanted to see what was under me. I wanted to appreciate what was under me. And it seemed like a good opportunity to put the Arrow through its paces. So, double feature, baby. So that was the Aspen E1000. You know, I like it. I like it a whole lot. The more information, the better. Pretty sure that's Pignard under my left wing. Looks like it. And I'm more sure that that's Isnayo's. Yeah, there's the football club. Just overflew the town of Diafontes. Almost there. Okay, if I'm correct, there's supposed to be a stone cylinder there. That would be the Atalaya de Abalonte, and it doesn't look like that. So, I'm not sure what's up with that. Doesn't matter. There's Granada right ahead. I've already got the landing information. We're landing on runway 9. Gear down. Last notch of flaps.
Stop.
Okay. Well, that sucked. Alright, let's just get out of here. clear of the runway at Echo 4. Let's clean it up. Flaps. 3, 2, 1. GA parking to the right. GA parking to the left. I like these. I like these a lot. Every airport should have them. All right. Screwy landing aside, we're safely in Granada. And we're gonna shut this puppy down. Engage the parking brake. Engine out. Okay. Landing light off, fuel pump off. Master is off. Okay, this is what I was talking about earlier. Once I cut the battery master off, the E1000 started to draw from its battery. And until you cut it off, it's going to do that. It's not gonna power itself off. So this is why you press the REV button to turn it off. Otherwise, the E1000 will draw from its battery until it's drained. You can enable persistent save states with the planes. So when you shut these puppies down, do so completely. Let me close up shop, go get me something to eat, and then we can start the process all over again in another plane using the Garmin G5. Stay tuned. And we're back. Same plane, different livery. As a matter of fact, the only material difference between the G5 and the E1000 Aero, aside from the avionics, is the color of the dashboard. Alright, let's pull the inlet covers and the chocks. Let's put them away. Seal baggage. And let's mount up, cowboys and cowgirls. Alright, let's climb in, get settled, and we're going to skip the pre-flight and just get the engine started. Now with the Garmin G5, you have to turn them on separately. I say them because unlike the E1000, the Garmin G5 comes in two pieces. The power button for each module is indicated in the lower left, and I think on first launch, the MFD operates in PFD mode. The bottom unit, let's change its mode to HSI, and we're good to go. Taxi out and avoid the whole taxi thing altogether. However, in the time that I was on the ground, the winds has shifted and we're taking off from runway 27. Still fighting with directional control. Damn it. Alright. Let's see if we can do this better this time. Here's the airline commercial portion. Get over the runway. Come on, come on, come on. Head your back. Okay, we're clear of the runway. Now I'm bringing up the gear. This is what I should have done back in Valencia. The G5 comes in two parts. The top unit and the bottom unit. It offers just enough information to get you going. You can configure it using the knob on the right hand side. There we go. Once you have a mode, you can turn the knob to change the value. You've got redundancy in that if one fails, you can switch modes on the other to get that functionality back. It might be a pain in the butt, but it's better than being without it. Both components have their own 4-hour battery backup. You can display the battery status by pressing and holding the power button. It will appear on the left side over the airspeed tape, over the current airspeed indicator. Alright, we're cruising at 8,500. To the right are the Malaga Mountains. See, look at this. This is nice. Switch tanks. Fuel pump. Fuel pressure looks good. Oil pressure looks good. All the things look good. When you select the Aero 3 with the G5, your autopilot becomes the GFC 500 with the GMC 507 controller. I found this system easier to manage than the KFC 230 that's paired with the E1000. I really don't have a lot to say about the G5 system. It gets the job done. We're just closing in on Malaga to make our turn. And there we go. That white area ahead, that's the Arroyo de Pinar, I believe. And the town under it, I think, is Alajuela de la Torre. Please don't sue me if I'm wrong. Look at this. This is beautiful. Oh, go! "75 miles out, we're just going to take it easy." Seville's runways are true east and west. The air's evened out. It's nice and smooth now. I've flown across southern Spain before, both in flight sim and in X-Plane, and wow, I had no idea what I was missing with the generic scenery. To my right are the 3 reservoirs to meet lower traction down here. Alright, let's get on the ball. Let's get to the ATIS for Seville.
Sevilla San Pablo information Charlie. 1200 Zulu weather. Wind 130 at 16, visibility more than 10. Sky clear, temperature 32, dew point -7. Altimeter 2991. Arriving runway 09, departing runway 09. Advise on initial contact you have Charlie.
One thing I found out the hard way in another flight was that I was up in really rough weather, and just out of nowhere my engine exploded, just caught on fire. And I was like, whoa, what the hell? Did a little research, and it turns out that imposing too many negative G's on the aircraft will cause a catastrophic engine fire. Not sure if that's a bug or not. I'm not sure if they overdid it, but yeah, that's what happened. So, surprise? Right there off the nose is the Honeycomb plant and their corporate offices, I think. Okay, we're coming in on runway 9. See if we can do better than last time.
Stall. Stall. Stop.
Better. I'll accept it. All right. Let's shut this puppy down. Engine out. Press and hold the power button. Bob's your uncle. The Aero 3 comes equipped with a tow tractor. You can use it to do a little pushback, a little GA pushback action. Yeah. Got 2 speeds, first gear, second gear, park and reverse. If you use the upper portion indicated by that white stripe, you can make micro adjustments. Like I said, vFlyteAir's custom components are vFlyte branded. Alright, I think I'm backed in. Well, that was fun. Got to see nice places. Got to fly a new plane, technically 3 times. I mentioned this is vFlyteAir's 6th version of the plane, and I think it shows. It's polished, easy on the frame rates, and comes with some unique extra features. Alright, that's it. I hope this video finds you guys in good spirits. I know it looks like my videos are getting further and further apart. This one's different, simply because so much went into it. But just know that I want to kick out not just consistent content, but good content. I figure if you guys are going to sit and watch this, I want it to be worth your time. And I'm hoping this fits the bill. So, I will catch up with you guys a little later. This has been Quentin J. Parker, your pilot. And I am out of here. See ya. Bye.